TNT Sports.
Next on TNT, two of the greatest clutch players in the history of the NBA renew their rivalry. Throughout their careers, Michael Jordan and Reggie Miller have brought out the best in each other, and tonight should be no exception. Atlas will be in capacity crowd. Better than 18,000 turning out on this Thanksgiving night for the Washington Wizards and the Indiana Pacers. And from all of us here at TNT, happy holidays. The Czar perhaps feasting on a little bit too much turkey earlier, it should be pointed out. Hi, everybody. Marv Albert. This is the Czar. Mike Fratello will be joined in a moment by Cheryl Miller. And Mike, for Michael Jordan and the Wizards, these are difficult times. They come in with a record of 2-8. They have lost 7 in a row, and prospects do not appear as if they will improve because 7 of the next 9 games are on the road. So it's been a struggle. How frustrating has it been for Michael Jordan? Here's his take.
It's been a little bit disappointing, not frustrating, disappointing because I felt like we had to go through a period of adjustment. It's just that losing 6 or 7 games in a row is not the way I anticipate. I'd like to see that we get some wins under our belt, get a feeling of what winning is all about. But unfortunately, the learning curve has been a little bit difficult.
Well, Michael may say that it's disappointing, not frustrating, but let's face it, he just comes out of his role as ownership, and now he's here as the leader of this team, so he has to keep a certain face on. But go back to the years that he won 6 world championships in Chicago. He played with basketball players with very high IQs. Bill Cartwright, Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant, Dennis Rodman, guys who knew the game, knew how to play the game and win together as a team. Now he's talking about the learning curve. Players are teaching bounce passes, chest passes, defensive stance, how to screen certain players. So although Michael may say one thing, I've got to believe that down deep inside, there is a certain sense of frustration with the most losses in a row he's ever had in 7. Now, on a personal note, he's not doing too bad. Second leading scorer in the NBA, percentage points behind Shaquille O'Neal, second in steals overall, so he's doing his job on the floor.
And tonight, Michael and the Wizards going up against a Pacer team that began the season very strong, 6-2. They lose 4 in a row, due for the most part because of the injury suffered by Jermaine O'Neal. They're now 7 up, 6 down. Their head coach, Isaiah Thomas, says he's very pleased with his team, and Czar says he's particularly pleased with the play of the steal of the draft, his rookie starting point guard, Jamaal Tinsley.
Well, when Isaiah mentions Tinsley, the first thing he does is go back to draft day, and he talks about the president of this organization, Donnie Walsh, and he talks about the fact that when Isaiah looked at tape, he said, no way we ever get Tinsley. He's a lottery pick. But somehow Walsh worked his magic, came up with a first-round pick, and then Atlanta and the Pacers worked out a deal. Atlanta picked Tinsley for the Pacers. He's come in, started all 13 games, averaged 30 minutes a game, almost 8 assists and 11 points per game. And as Isaiah tells us, he does things on the floor for a guy who never played high school basketball that you just can't teach. The court savvy, the sense of where people are. When he has to score, he can score, but he'd rather get other people involved.
All right, so coming up momentarily, Michael and the Wizards going up against the Indiana Pacers. Right now, we'll join with the public address announcer here at Conseco Fieldhouse. Let's go to Rep Porter.
Rise and remove your hats as the Greenwood Fire Department Honor Guard presents our nation's colors for tonight's national anthem performed by Alicia Harris.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright
To all the men and women in the armed forces, I'd like to wish you a happy Thanksgiving from Michael Jordan and the Washington Wizards.
All right, Michael, the Wizards enjoying their turkey late this afternoon over at the hotel. A look at the starting lineups. Rick Hamilton back in the starting lineup for the Wizards with Chris Whitney, Christian Laettner, Jahidi White, Michael Jordan up front. So Jordan back at the small forward position. There's the rookie Jamaal Tinsley, who's played so well in the backcourt with Reggie Miller, Jermaine O'Neal. Jeff Foster's done a good job, and Jalen Rose on the front line. Right here, let's check in with Cheryl Miller. Cheryl?
Thanks a lot, Marvel. I've always wondered why and how do the rookies spend their holiday seasons, especially on game day. Well, I spoke to 19-year-old Kwame Brown, who had his Thanksgiving dinner with his teammates back at the hotel, but he told me that he spent the majority of the time on the phone with his mother, who gave him a play-by-play on what type of food she was preparing for the family. Jamaal Tinsley, well, he said, Cheryl, I spent my Thanksgiving in bed getting rested for tonight's game, but he said, after this game is over, I will definitely get my feast on. Guys?
All right, thanks, Cheryl. And right now, Indiana native, Purdue All-American, and legendary former UCLA head coach, Hall of Famer John Wooden, hearing it from the crowd as he presents tonight's game ball. It's in conjunction with the John Wooden Tradition College doubleheader that will take place here at Conseco on Saturday. Purdue playing Stanford, Missouri going up against Xavier. A remarkable man, John Wooden, 91 years old. Celebrating his 91st Thanksgiving back home here in Indiana. The officials, Ken Maurer, Hugh Hollins, Phil Robinson, and we're ready to play basketball. Jermaine O'Neal and Jahidi White on the opening tip. Pacers coming off a victory here at home over Atlanta on Tuesday to stop a 4-game losing streak. Washington on Tuesday lost at home to Charlotte, 95-88. And this is Tinsley controlling. Here's Miller, played by Hamilton. Tinsley with the first shot. And rebounded by Jahidi White.
We saw some of the problems that the Wizards will face. Who do you put Michael Jordan on? Do you put him on Reggie Miller? Do you put him on Jalen Rose? Because whichever one he's not on, somebody has to guard a very experienced player for the Wizards.
Laettner off the fake, it counts, and the foul. Jermaine O'Neal picks it up.
You know, as we've mentioned a number of times, going into each game, you wonder which Laettner is going to show up. The one that can score, hit outside shots, go inside and draw some fouls with his pump fakes and do a defensive job on the glass for him? Or is it going to be the one that disappears every so often where you can't count on him for any points at all and he's non-existent on the board? It's a tough decision for a coaching staff, how long you leave him out on the floor. And in particular, Doug Collins has given him a lot of leadership responsibility this year along with Michael Jordan.
And Laettner 0 for 6 in the Wizards' last game in 31 minutes against the Hornets. Well, they're giving Jeff Foster the shot. And lost by Laettner, not able to hold on.
Well, Jahidi White will back off of Foster and continue to let him shoot the perimeter shot until he makes enough of them. You'd much rather have Foster shooting those than Rose or Miller.
In their last game against Atlanta, this has been a familiar scenario. Indiana was down by as many as 21 and then came back. That's the 4th time this season that they have overcome a double-figure deficit at home. Whitney. And the ball back to the Pacers.
Talking with Brendan Malone, the assistant on the Pacers bench, he said it's almost like we have to get our backs up against the wall before we decide that we're going to play defense and dig in. And those 4 games you mentioned, they're down, you know, large number of points, then start to play aggressively at the defensive end.
Reggie Miller getting the step. He beat Hamilton and took the lead pass.
There it is. That's what I mentioned before. So if Michael Jordan is overplaying Rose, then Hamilton's going to have a tough time chasing Miller around those screens. No one moves better than Reggie Miller without the basketball. Constant motion from Reggie Miller.
Hamilton. Richard Hamilton giving the Wizards a 5-2 lead. Getting back to the subject falling behind by double-digit margins. Reggie Miller said this is not a good storyline. You can't always dig a hole and then pull it out. It's happened against Atlanta, Sacramento. The Knicks led by as many as 20. Portland led by as many as 11, and Indiana came back. Here's O'Neal. Yes. So the Wizards have a 5-4 lead.
Interesting, Isaiah Thomas mentioned to us before the game. Last year, they concentrated on being good defensively first and worried about the offense later in the season. He said, this year, I want to come out and learn how to score points early, and the defense will come along as we get into the season.
And that is a three-pointer. Meanwhile, Michael Jordan is kind of just another guy on the court, letting the other guys find the range, does not touch the ball.
And believe me, he has no problem with that with the Wizards up in the game.
Jalen Rose. Wizards 8 and the Pacers 6. Chris Whitney trying to use the pick, shooting over Tinsley. Tinsley with the lead for Foster, who beats right down the court, and that a concern of Doug Collins.
Yes, Washington does not have big men that run the floor well. So as a result, if they can't run the floor with their big men, it forces guards to pick them up. And then what happens is Miller winds up being open or Rose. So transition by the big men as Leitner steps outside and hits the jump shot from the top of the circle. Transition for the big men will be very important tonight for Washington, how well they run the floor.
Once again, they're just telling Jeff Foster to take the shot. Has a pretty good touch also from the perimeter. We saw Jahidi White step back saying, hey, take that perimeter shot.
Yeah, but you know, players aren't used to taking an unusual number of shots from a certain spot. Will he take 10, 12, 15 of those shots during the course of a game, or just happen to make one or two?
Whitney from downtown. And on the back tap, knocked out of bounds by White. Indiana Pacers started the season, as you mentioned earlier, at 6-2, an NBA franchise best start, and then they dropped the 4 in a row. Jermaine O'Neal missing 3 of those 4 games. Here's O'Neal going back 4.
Well, Leitner had his back to the ball. He never saw the basketball. As a result, they just threw it over the top of his head, and O'Neal obviously a much better jumper than Leitner converted.
Michael Jordan off the head fake with his first shot, forced into a difficult shot, but Leitner is right there. Good start at the offensive end for Christian Leitner, who has 7 of the 12 Washington points.
And if you're Doug Collins right now, you're a little happy that Leitner and Hamilton both have gotten off well, and there goes Rose from that corner, hitting that same jump shot he just hit a few moments ago.
Hot shooting start for both clubs. Pacers 14 and the Wizards 12. Jordan spinning his way on Rose. Michael playing with tendonitis in the right wrist. Nice pass. O'Neal is fouled by White. You see the wristband that Jordan is wearing.
It's not just a normal wristband that absorbs, okay, the perspiration. There are straps around that thing, and Michael mentioned that's a slight case of tendonitis this morning after the shoot-around, but he kind of passed it off as just one of those bumps and bruises that 38, 39-year-old guys seem to get occasionally.
Early on, he was bothered by a sprained left foot, then tendonitis in his knees. Sat out practice several days before the opening game at Madison Square Garden against the New York Knicks. Doug Collins saying that Michael wants to play all 82, fighting off the aches and pains of being, as you mentioned, 38 going on 39 following the 3-year sabbatical.
Well, you know, he's averaging almost 38 minutes per game this season, and when he finished up his career 3-4 seasons back, he was at almost 39 minutes, so only a minute difference per game than where he left off.
Here's Whitney over Rose. Tinsley protects that dribble so well. Now being played by Jordan. Foster again, wide open, able to go glass.
You have given him a great amount of confidence, Foster.
3 from 4, 6 points.
Obviously, you heard what you said, and he's living up to your reputation that you've given him.
He has been shooting very well recently. 4 of 8, 11 points the other night. Among the leaders in rebounds. Good hands by Hamilton to break it up. Here's Whitney with Hamilton on the wing. Yes. And the Pacer lead is now 3.
We saw a fast break basket for Washington. Let's try and watch over the course of the evening how many easy baskets Washington can come up with, because this is a concern for their staff. They don't get a lot of easy baskets, whereas other teams seem to get a lot more. Like there's an easy basket right there. Backdoor, and then a bounce pass for a layup.
Beautiful pass thrown by Jalen Rose. Indiana 19, Washington 14.
And who was guarding that man moving without the ball? Again, Hamilton, the youngster, learning a few lessons out here from Reggie Miller.
Jahidi White spinning his way. Jahidi White on the rebound and is fouled. Jahidi White was wearing a protective boot all summer long because of an Achilles problem. Still not moving well, as you can tell, but did draw the foul and will head to the line. The first timeout call.
Welcome back. Marv Albert alongside of Mike Fratello. Or is it Mike Fratello alongside of Marv Albert? Which one is it?
Confusing.
Welcome back with the Pacers leading the Wizards 19-14. A few moments ago, an easy basket for the Pacers. In transition, they like to set back picks for Reggie Miller, who then flares behind the three-point line for a three-point shot. This time, Reggie Miller reading the defense as the back pick takes place. Miller starts to come off it, but notices right there that he's being followed by the defensive man. Instead, he continues to go on, makes the layup off the bounce pass. Easy score for the Wizards.
That was very smoothly done. 5:17 remaining in this first quarter. The Pacers have a 19-14 lead. Jahidi White at the foul line. White on the season only 4 of 11 at the line. Doug Collins was saying after the loss the other night for the Charlotte Hornets, he has never been around such a fragile, sensitive group of players. And he said they don't play with any passion. It's almost like they don't like to play. Those comments exclude number 23.
But he was around you for a while. So
talk about fragile,
used to dealing with fragile, sensitive people.
Foul is called on Jordan. Now here's Popeye Jones checking in for Jahidi White. Yes, Doug making the transition from the broadcast booth back to coaching, his third NBA coaching stint. Coached Michael in Chicago in his early years. Led the Pistons to the playoffs. Guy has been successful at turning teams, although this would take a dramatic turnaround.
This would be one of the all-time great coaching jobs. Okay, if this thing turns around and becomes even close to a 500 season.
At 2-8, they've lost 7 straight games. They're in a stretch playing 7 of the next 9 on the road. Whitney using the pick from Jordan. He's been off. Chris Whitney started the season shooting very well. He's now 0 for 6 here tonight, and Jeff Foster is killing the Washington front line.
And there's another easy basket by a big man running the floor for Indiana, getting an easy score. We saw one earlier in the game. We saw the second one there.
Tinsley down low to O'Neal, getting good position, but could not convert. Crowd looking for a foul.
So is O'Neal wondering, how did I wind up on my back out of bounds unless I was pushed?
Popeye Jones.
Nice passing by the big man. Kick to the corner, dive to the basket. A little give and go that time between Jones and Leitner.
Popeye Jones has been one of the bright spots for the Wizards. 9th year out of Murray State. He's had an injury-hit career. He's come off the bench for the most part. Done a nice job. Here's an open opportunity for Rose. Now Hamilton with the Pacers getting back. Hamilton just did graze the rim.
Yeah, we've seen a number of short shots by the Wizards. Flat trajectory, short shots.
Very quiet start for Michael Jordan, not looking to shoot the ball. He's 0 for 3 from the field.
And for your Pacers, number 44,
Austin Crozier has checked in for the first time. Austin Crozier has been struggling. He's averaged only 7 points, 5 rebounds, about 20 minutes per game. A significant drop-off for the past couple of years. Not what was expected after the big contract signing. This Popeye showing the outside touch. And Hubert Davis has come out for Chris Whitney. Hubert back from a torn right hamstring. Had a big game against Charlotte the other night. 7 for 12, 18 points. This only his 3rd game back since he's returned from the injured list. Tinsley with his first bucket.
And Washington certainly can use a player on the floor that can make open shots. And throughout his career, one of the things that Davis could do with range is shoot that jump shot. So while they're double teaming or going after Michael Jordan with help, you've got another perimeter shooter.
Foul is called on Jalen Rose. Timeout taken. 2:35 left in the first.
I knew coming in it was going to take some time for the guys to understand the level of play that they have to play at. It's worse now with me being on the team, sold out arena, on TV quite often. You know, I can understand a lot of young kids being nervous, but you have to overcome that nervousness. And I think that's something that's been a little bit disappointing because we hadn't overcome that so quickly.
You're talking about 2 basketball teams that both have 7 players on their active roster right now with 3 years or less experience in the NBA. And it just takes time. It takes game time. It takes minutes on the floor. It takes practices. And that's why perhaps players should stay in college a little bit longer and shouldn't come out so early.
Bizarre with a soapbox statement. Meanwhile, Jordan is now 0 for 4. Now, there have been exceptions. Kobe Bryant, Tracy McGrady. Obviously, prodigies. Although it took a couple of years for Kobe.
Or Kevin Garnett.
Right. And you have to be in the right situation. Garnett was able to get the playing time, work through it early on.
And you mentioned, it's a good point you make there, because a little backdoor move right there, and Hamilton held on the backdoor cut. You mentioned given the opportunity, you know, Doug Collins took Kwame Brown out of the starting lineup because he felt that he had rewarded him too quickly. He put him in the starting lineup because why? He was the 1st round pick overall of the draft, and Doug didn't want him to get that sense of, hey, it should just be given to you. So until he earned it, he took him out of the starting lineup and said, you're going to have to work your way back in and deserve those minutes on the floor. This is a privilege to be out there in an NBA team.
And they'd like to see a little bit more of the work ethic of Kwame Brown during practice sessions.
It's all part of it. Learning how to win, learning how to practice.
Al Harrington, another young man who's made the jump from high school. It's been a slow progression for Harrington, who's played well this year.
Let's see if Doug Collins makes a switch to the defensive end, because Harrington may be just too strong for Hamilton to guard. They need somebody a little bit more physical, because Harrington will back you down and go to the offensive boards.
Kwame Brown has come on for Michael Jordan. Michael in 10 minutes, 0 for 4 from the field. And Rose foul. Popeye Jones called for the foul. 1:33 remaining in this first quarter. Well, you can watch the drama of NASCAR tomorrow at 12 Eastern on NBC as the Winston Cup season concludes with the New Hampshire 300 presented by Behind Enemy Lines. That'll be live from New Hampshire International Speedway. That'll be noon Eastern on NBC. Jalen Rose, a 79% free throw shooter, missing on his first. And you see how Jalen has come on. He is now the leading scorer for the Indiana Pacers, among the leaders in scoring in the NBA at 23 a game. Pacers with a 24-19 lead. Hubert Davis and Chris Whitney now in the backcourt. Christian Laettner draws the foul. Laettner, Jones, and Brown on the front line.
And if you're Doug Collins, you're very happy with that series right there. You see a youngster in Hamilton coming off a screen, reading the defensive player following him. As soon as a help man stepped up, he took the ball and delivered it immediately to Laettner, his big man, stepping in the lane. That's good, smart, intelligent basketball, reading the defense.
Foul on Austin Crozier. Laettner off to a good start. 3 for 4 from the field, 7 points.
Here we go, man. One Christian, one in Court.
Let's go back and look real quick as Hamilton runs the curl. Laettner's man steps up, a quick delivery on the pass, and now the foul.
Laettner hits on the second. So 9 points for Laettner, and the Pacers up by 3. New Hollins calls the offensive foul. It's on Harrington. A capacity crowd here at Conseco Fieldhouse. Better than 18,000 on hand. Pacers' 3rd shutout of the season. We're approaching 1 minute remaining in the first quarter. Hamilton beating Brown is rejected. Jamaal Tinsley putting those on Richard Hamilton and hits.
There you see the ability of Tinsley to get a shot on his own and become a scorer if he wants to. We've seen him have some big games already this season as far as putting numbers up.
Tinsley 4 points, 6 assists in his first quarter. Half minute remaining. While Tinsley grew up in Brooklyn, attended Tilden High School, did not play high school basketball. Did play some of the Rugger League in Manhattan. And then a couple of years at Iowa State.
Part of that AAU group that gets together during the summer and plays together representing certain areas of the country. They went out and won a huge tournament in Las Vegas, and from there went on to junior college and 2 years at Iowa State.
Final seconds of the quarter. Hamilton gets it off in time and hits. Buzzer basket by Richard Hamilton, appreciated by Doug Collins. After 1, it's the Pacers 26 and the Wizards 23. Good start for Tinsley. We'll be back to Indianapolis in a moment. Indiana Pacers came right out of high school. Jermaine O'Neal in the 1996 NBA draft out of Columbia, South Carolina. Al Harrington in 98 from St. Patrick's High School, Elizabeth, New Jersey. And Jonathan Bender in 99 from Picayune Memorial in Picayune, Mississippi. And the Wizards' contribution, 6'11", 240-pounder, Kwame Brown, only 19 years old, will be 20 next March. The overall #1 pick in the draft out of Glenn Academy in Brunswick, Georgia, the first ever overall #1 straight out of high school.
Well, let's go back to one of those young men. I'm talking about Jonathan Bender. For hours when Larry Bird was coaching it, he would come out before the game and work with Jonathan Bender. They said he has tremendous talent. Again, at the end of last season, they talked about the talent level this young man has. He's averaging 11 minutes per game right now. This is only his 3rd year, Mark, as Kwame Brown makes a nice little up and under move there, down close to the baseline. It's only the 3rd year for Bender. For 4 years in Portland, Jermaine O'Neal had a tough time getting consistent minutes. So you got to give the young man time to grow, develop, mature, gain strength and understanding of how to play at this level.
Jermaine able to break through last season, getting the playing time here with the Pacers. Second quarter underway, and the Pacers up 26-25.
One of the things that Doug Collins had to look for at the beginning of the year, can this team learn to play on the floor without Michael Jordan out there? How to get shots, who creates them, who makes them?
Well, they are certainly getting a lift tonight from Christian Laettner. He is making his shots. He now has 11 points. He's 4 out of 5 from the field. The Wizards lead by 1. Tinsley tried to snap it through to Harrington. And a little too much on it, and the ball back to the Wizards.
It's 4 turnovers now for Indiana. Washington, and no turnovers at this point.
Hubert Davis handling against Jamaal Tinsley. So Davis and Hamilton in the backcourt. Leitner with Popeye Jones and Kwame Brown up front.
This is not the best ball handling team the Wizards have on the floor.
And the call away from the ball, holding foul. It's on Popeye Jones.
And you see Indiana, steady diet right now of trying to get the ball down low inside. They feel they have a definite advantage. They're big people against Washington's big people.
O'Neal, Crozier, and Harrington up front. Tinsley and Miller in the backcourt. Here's Tinsley. Quiet start for Reggie Miller. He's taken 2 shots. He's hit both. 8-2 run for Washington since Michael sat down. Davis for 3. Hubert Davis, who last year was the number 4 man in three-point field goal percentage, and shade over 40%. He's given the Wizards a 4-point lead.
Hubert Davis, a 44% three-point shooter throughout his career.
Harrington. Davis is on it, and a traveling violation is called.
Yeah, you do have to dribble the ball before you start running. It's a little thing that they've added.
Hey. And that's the first turnover committed by the Wizards. We're in early second quarter. Marv Albert with the czar, Mike Fratello, Cheryl Miller. From Indianapolis, open shot from Crozier, and he hits it. Austin Crozier, who has not been hitting his shot, brings the Pacers within 2.
You know, sometimes, Marv, when players get new contracts, they think that they have a responsibility to do so much more than they did before they had that contract. And Crozier might be a guy that falls into that category of the way he got and earned the contract. He may have forgotten that a little bit, put too much pressure on himself, and as a result, not playing the same way.
But followed by Popeye Jones. Beautifully thrown pass by Hubert Davis, and then Popeye on the follow. We were talking about Austin Crozier earlier with head coach Isaiah Thomas, and he feels that Austin has put too much pressure on himself, that he feels he must score more. And Isaiah will be very happy with Crozier getting back to what he did his first couple of years in the league.
I didn't want to interrupt you, but we just saw Washington's version of a 1-2-2 zone with Kwame Brown on the point. That is a huge point man at the front of that 1-2-2 zone.
If you see a 1-2-2, feel free to interrupt me at any time.
All right, thank you.
And Davis is fouled. Hubert Davis playing well. He'll go to the line, fouled by Crozier, but first a timeout taken. 8:26 remaining in the first half.
Welcome back to the Gestico Fieldhouse. The Wizards guards, Chris Whitney and Richard Hamilton, along with several teammates, distributed 400 turkey baskets to underprivileged families in the D.C. metropolitan area last Thursday. This was part of the second annual C. Witt and Rip Hamilton Turkey Drive. Mark?
All right, Cheryl. Nice gesture by the Washington Wizards, who are playing well here in this first half. They lead the Indiana Pacers 32-28. Hubert Davis headed to the free throw line. Michael Jordan checks back in. Michael 0 for 4 in his 10 minutes of play. Christian Leitner leading the way with 11 points.
It's nice having Hubert Davis back because it gives you one more veteran player to put on the floor when Michael Jordan is sitting down. I would think that Doug Collins would be feeling, I'm not trying to say overconfident, but good with the fact that they have a 4-point lead with Michael going, as you mentioned, 0 for 4 right now, but other guys stepping up and taking over the scoring load.
It's the first time in his career that Michael Jordan has been on a team that has lost 7 straight games.
Here's your 1-2-2 zone once again. You see up at the top, Kwame Brown, then Michael Jordan and Davis on the wings with Popeye and Leitner down low.
And Jermaine O'Neal able to hit over it. So the Wizards now lead by 3.
So on the 2 trips down the floor, Indiana's had 1 basket off it and then missed 1 jumper, which gave a possession back to Washington.
Kwame Brown gets inside. Popeye Jones is right there to punch it home. So Popeye has 8 points.
Reggie Miller bounced off the floor as Popeye went up, but Miller inside trying to block out. Popeye's not going to get a call on that one. He didn't push him. He just weighs too much.
O'Neal lost the handle. Crozier on the recovery. Shot clock is down to 5. Here's Crozier with a finger roll. So the Wizards now lead 35 to 32. I think Austin surprised himself with that touch. Kwame Brown taking the pass from Christian Laettner. Nice play.
That's twice that they found Reggie Miller underneath guarding a big man, and each time it's produced a score for the Wizards.
Second field goal for Brown. Wizards up 37-32. Crozier. Rose with the shot. Michael Jordan now being played by Al Harrington, who says he grew up idolizing Michael as a youngster in the New Jersey area.
Did he say he was going to shut Michael down tonight?
He made it. There was a statement attributed to Al Harrington that he wants to go against Michael defensively very aggressively. I don't know if Jordan saw it.
So far, he shut him out, Mark.
Yes. Hasn't taken a shot since Harrington has been on him. And Michael is looking to set up his teammates. Gilbert Davis with another 3. So the Wizards lead 40-32. 7 points for Davis. He's 2 for 2 from downtown. Here's Crozier for 3. Oh, he got the hop. A tough angle three-pointer by Austin Crozier.
I was just about to say that in the zone, 5 times down the floor, they were going to be 2 pluses, 3 minuses, but that one bounced in, so it's 3 pluses, 2 minuses. Yeah. Scores against the zone for Indiana.
Michael not able to hit. Harrington. Crozier on the follow. Well, so much for the slump of Austin Crozier. He has come out and hit 4 for 4 for 9 points.
Now where is Kwame Brown on that follow-up? Because we watched the Wizards practice, and no one is faster than Kwame Brown running the floor for watch.
With a 40-37 lead on the Pacers, and they have done it without getting scoring from Michael Jordan. He's played 14 minutes, 0 for 5 from the field. Remember the game last week against Seattle? Missed his first 14 shots, 5 for 26, finished with 16 points, and then followed up with a 31-point game and a 44-point game. Here is Jordan. Yes. And that is his first field goal.
Yeah, and of all the shots that he's had, it may have been his most, well, not the most difficult one. That one where he stepped underneath was a tough one that he shot the air ball early in the game, but he makes a tough shot to get himself going and hitting his first basket. And if you're searching for reasons why the Wizards would have a lead with Michael having no points up to that point, while they're shooting 42%, it's the difference at the three-point line and the foul line. There's the difference.
Offensive foul. Jalen Rose called for the push-off. Just under 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Rose called for a second. Richard Hamilton will check back in. Hamilton contributing 4 for 7, 9 points. Back in the starting lineup.
And that move came suddenly during the shoot-around this morning. All of a sudden, Bobby Simmons, who was in the starting lineup, was asked to change his jersey, and Hamilton was inserted in the starting lineup because the big reason Doug wanted to do it, not an overwhelming power small forward for the Pacers. They could match up a little bit differently and get Hamilton back in the lineup.
Reggie Miller running the floor. Bobby Simmons, a rookie out of DePaul, started against Charlotte in the Wizards' last game. Played only 4 or 5 minutes. And Hamilton is back in the lineup. Here's Jordan. Rebounded by O'Neal. Tinsley being guarded by Davis. Last touched by the Wizards.
You mentioned about Reggie running the floor, getting that long lead pass. It's because Hamilton turned his head, didn't see the basketball, was more concerned with just watching Reggie, and the ball was just laid out there over the top. An easy layup for Reggie.
Tinsley and Popeye Jones on the box. box out.
You know, as good a year as Tinsley has had thus far, he's still shooting only 37% from the floor, 26% from the three-point line, although he's shooting over 81 from the free throw line.
And he does come off a career high, 29 points the other night. Here's Jordan on a little turn against Rose. So the Wizards lead at 44-39. Thanksgiving night on TNT. With the Czar. Doesn't get much better than that.
We should take a moment at some point to wish everyone happy Thanksgiving. That, you know, as Reggie misses a jump shot, like, you know, my mom and dad and family, I'd like to say happy Thanksgiving to them.
We did it at the start of the top.
I did. You did.
You may not have been paying attention.
No, I was. I didn't get a chance to say very much.
I did not mention your mom and dad.
You didn't mention it's their 60th wedding anniversary coming, did you?
No kidding.
Yeah, 60 years.
Leitner on the rebound. Punched up by Jones. It will not count. Foul on Popeye, who is very upset. He's done some job on the board. 7 rebounds for Popeye Jones.
But Washington's big men trying to be assertive on the glass, giving themselves second and third shot opportunities, but Popeye a little bit too much shoving. O'Neal gets knocked under the basket. Popeye with the foul.
Jones has played 13 minutes, 8 points, 7 rebounds.
Again, the 1-2-2 zone. This time Leitner up on top and poor coverage on the back line. Popeye, he knows, he's pointing to himself saying, my fault. He went out to guard the corner with the ball up at the top of the circle. No need to do that.
So Harrington brings the Pacers within 3. Davis with the runner, and the tip missed by Jones. Leitner is there.
Maybe they should grab it and put it back in rather than trying to tip it. Just a small little fundamental.
It's pretty good behind the back move by Tinsley. Now Rose with the shot. So the Pacers within 1.
Game is getting a little more physical right now. They have to underneath the glass. There's more body contact, and you can see the level has picked up a little bit.
Doug Collins wants to talk it over. We have 2 minutes, 11 seconds remaining in the first half. Wizards 44, Pacers 43. He's color commentating.
I thought you were going to say I was laying back here. No, okay, thank you.
Now, what is this, about a 60th wedding anniversary your folks are having?
Yes, this past week they celebrated their 60th wedding anniversary. Decided to have a little dinner tomorrow night in North Jersey.
Small dinner?
I thought it would be the relatives, like, you know, maybe 18 people. It's 60. 60 relatives.
60.
Yes, a few more showed up. I didn't realize we're in the family.
Wizards up by 1 as we come up on 2 minutes remaining in this first half. John Thomas, who just checked in, is rejected by Jermaine O'Neal. Last touch by the Pacers. John Thomas, rookie out of Syracuse, sat out last year because of a broken toe. Originally a first-round draft pick of Dallas, and was acquired in that Juwan Howard, Christian Leitner trade, making his first appearance of the night. Thomas with the jump hook that is swatted away, but it will count. It's a goaltend.
And that is a play that Doug Collins and his staff worked on today right at the end of the shoot-around. They spent about 2 minutes on out-of-bounds plays from the side out and underneath out. That play in particular, the guard screening on the big man, it produced 2 points for him.
And with that bucket, Washington's bench has outscored Indiana's bench 21-11. Here's Rose. And the Wizards continue to do a nice job off the boards. Leitner with rebound number 7. Jordan being played by Harrington, taking it to the rim and draws the foul. Well, for Michael, that's his first move going down low as he got the step on the drive. Fouled by Jalen Rose, and Jordan goes to the line. That's 3 on Rose. Michael Jordan averaging 27.4 points per game. He is now, in terms of average, second in scoring in the NBA. just a shade behind Shaquille O'Neal.
You know, Mark, people have made a lot about the fact that Michael's game has changed so much and that he doesn't go to the line as much because he doesn't drive as much. His career high, was his 3rd year in the league when he shot almost 12 free throws per game. But his last year, before he retired, he was at 8.8, and this year he's at 7.1. So as you look at his seasons go along, there wasn't that much of a drop-off. He just changed his style of game.
Jordan opened up 0 for 5 from the field. He's hit 2 of his last 4 shots. Harrington with a nice spin, and rebounded by Jordan with a minute left in the half. It's a solid first half for a Wizard team that has won only 2 and lost 8. They've dropped their last 7. Now Jordan over Jonathan Bender, who had just checked in. Isaiah Thomas has the 2 youngsters on the floor, Bender and Harrington. Here's Bender. It counts, and the foul. Jonathan Bender, 20 years old. First-round draft pick, the 5th overall selection back in 1999 with a nice move.
Again, utilizing that curl off the baseline screen. He's finding his defender following him, so he continues to curl him. They've got to get help either from the big man stepping up on the curl, talking about the post man defensively, or the point guard must come over and help out so that lane closes down.
It's a 2-point game. Wizards with the lead. 25 seconds remaining in the half. Davis sets the pick. Jordan spinning his way. Rebounded by Thomas. It counts, and the foul.
Michael put on a great move, pulled the ball back, reversed, split the defenders, and then tried to come up on the other side of the rim and just didn't have the elevation. After he pulls back, splits, the elevation just isn't there to get it up high enough to clear the rim.
Tom Thomas looking to complete a 3-point play. 15 seconds remaining in the half. Wizards up by 4. And Tinsley working it down. Here's Tinsley, rejected by Thomas. Chased down by Foster, who fires. Good half here at Conseco. The Wizards with a 50-46 lead on the Pacers. Michael Jordan, 2 for 10 for the field, 6 points in all. Christian Laettner's had the hot hand. He has 11 points, also done it off the boards. 10 rebounds for Laettner. Let's go to Cheryl with Christian Laettner.
Christian, first of all, you got to be pleased with the effort of the team in the first half, especially on the offensive glass and your execution in your half-court offense.
Well, we had a long day to rest. We ate some good food for lunch, so we just wanted to come out and play hard. And, you know, we're struggling. We lost a lot of games in a row, so we're trying as hard as we can. And sometimes they're going small out there, and you got to make them pay.
Talk about the contribution of your bench in the first half.
Well, we need contributions from everyone. Sometimes from our starters, sometimes from our bench. So it's just a total team effort, and hopefully we can keep it up and win this game.
All right, good luck in the second half. Let's go back to you, Marv.
Thank you, Cheryl. Solid first half for Christian Laettner. It's the Wizards 50 and the Pacers 46 on this Thanksgiving night here at Conseco. Now let's go to the studio and Ernie Johnson.
Studio's a real busy place tonight, too, Marv. Despite what that shot would show you. Hey, wake up, you guys. It's the NBA house party presented by McDonald's. Hey! Man alive. What's that stuff, tryptophan or something that's in Turkey?
I wish y'all would treat us this good with these people not around.
Say what now?
I wish y'all would treat me like couches and stuff. Y'all treat us this good when it was weird.
We're still waiting on that big couch to get in.
The food is usually. Oh, you're waiting on the big couch. That was good. That was good. It's going to
be a few more weeks.
That was cute.
Hey, you know, but Jerry Stackhouse is with us tonight also. I mean, this is a very festive place. You're in town with the Pistons playing the Hawks tomorrow night.
Yeah, we're in town.
You're out of the gate 7-3. How did you spend Thanksgiving today,
I spent it with my family. I have some family here out in Rex, Georgia, and we just...
Rex, Georgia? Rex, Georgia. That may be smaller than Leeds, Alabama.
Let's don't talk about Leeds right now.
You got something bad going on there?
No, L.A. We putting some money together. We're going to bid for the Olympics and buy it like Salt Lake City did. We want to get to the Olympics in Leeds, Alabama. All we got to do is give people exotic gifts. We can get the Olympics in Leeds, Alabama.
The problem is you shouldn't go for the winter games in Leeds. It's just not going to work.
We're going for the summer games.
Fried possum will be the one of the menu out there.
Fried possum, rabbit, chitlins. You ever had chitlins and ham hocks?
I had chitlins today.
Did you really? Man, you didn't call me.
Hey, bro, they were good too.
I love chitlins, ham hock, neck bone, pig feet, pig ears.
What don't you like?
I gotta be quiet.
No, say what you don't like.
White folks in there, they're not doing what I was talking about there.
Do not get Charles going down the
chitlins and ham hocks and neck bones and pig ears, they have no clue what I was talking about.
That's exactly what we had today out there in Brazelton. And my wife's pumpkin cheesecake. Oh, my.
Pumpkin cheesecake.
Cheryl Ann, one of the great cooks in the world. Pumpkin cheesecake.
Cheesecake. Pumpkin is not made to be a cheesecake, stupid.
Don't tell my wife that, man. It was unbelievable. I can't believe you don't...
Hey, first of all, you know your wife bought it. She can't cook. She bought it down at the Winn-Dixie.
Right down there by Rex, Georgia. Anyway, we're watching this game. Should we talk about this game at all? Michael, with a really slow start, 6 points on 2 of 11.
Remember when I was talking to you the other night, those guys are so much more... I said, if Michael were to go play, I was being facetious. If he were to go the whole game and not shoot the ball, they're a lot more aggressive when he's not in the game. They just got to manufacture it and find a way to make it work. They can't stand around and watch him play.
You know, you've seen him. You saw him before he retired. You've seen him once this year already. What's the biggest difference in Michael Jordan as a player?
Well, I think it's just the supporting cast he has right now. He's still learning those guys. When he was in Chicago, they knew each other in and out. And now, and he's not going to the basket as much as he was. He's strictly mostly a jump shooter right now.
Well, you look at what Charles said, taking on what he said about being more aggressive when he's not in the game. Someone has to shoot when he's not in the game, but they have to some kind of manufacture that same intensity when he's in the game. But who's really helping out is Hubert Davis. He's coming to this in the last couple, since he's been off the injured list, and really been aggressive, hitting shots. That in turn today, Christian Laettner is starting to take some shots. But Popeye Jones has been a consistent guy. Every night in and night out, he's played well, though.
Christian Laettner, 11 points in the first half. He leads the Washington Wizards, who lead the game, by the way.
50 started 3 weeks ago.
50-46. We'll be back with more. We're going to talk about the Pistons' great start. They're 7-3. How about that?
Hey, it's a total shock. They're doing it with smoke and mirrors.
Wow, nice to have you with us, Stack. We'll be back.
The AT&T Halftime Report is brought to you by AT&T, proud sponsor of the NBA.
The camera work you're seeing here is being done by Milton Anderson from Hattiesburg, Mississippi. His brother, Melvin, Sergeant Melvin Anderson, is in Afghanistan right now, as a matter of fact.
Awesome.
It's unbelievable. It's great to have you with us tonight, Milton. And all the winners here at the house party. Here's a NBA.com question that you can log on to and try to answer. Which team has been the most pleasant surprise this season?
It's a close second.
Well, it's obviously I think it's the Pistons and the Timberwolves. I knew the Nets would be better.
You thought the Nets would be what they are now, though?
You thought they'd be leading the Atlantic at this point? Sure you do.
Well, yeah, I did, because you take away Philadelphia, the rest of the teams in the division stink.
Well,
Orlando. I forgot about Orlando. They're solid. They're solid. I apologize.
Okay. Let me ask you about what your team has been able to do. You're 7-3. You got a new coach in Rick Carlisle. Isn't there supposed to be some adjustment period where you really struggle and you get out of here 4-6 or 5-5? What's been the key?
Yeah, I think Rick helped that a lot this offseason. I mean, he made sure he got out and got in contact with guys, and we had some, I got the guys together, had some informal workouts, and been able to kind of get past some of the things that teams struggle with, and we've been playing great defense. And that's
Clifford Robinson's been giving you a big spark offensively, too.
That's been unbelievable. I mean, I think he and Ben Wallace have, really anchored our defense here along with Michael Curry, and we've just been rolling.
Hey, I got a question. Because you just said that you went to the offseason, you guys started
I thought you were going to ask him where Davidson was.
No, see.
Sorry.
See, Davidson losing.
He didn't have to go there,
man.
That one hurt.
We won't talk about alma maters. I was going to ask you what's going on right now. Is Hampton in Virginia?
All I know is
Hampton in Virginia? We got highlights of that. Oh, my God.
Davidson beat North Carolina.
You remember when I told you last year when you said Duke and North Carolina big rivalries? Well, North Carolina's no good, so they're not a rivalry anymore to Duke.
But Charles, at least they didn't lose those games at home. Oh, yes, they did.
At least we don't. I'm not even gonna go what's going on in Auburn right now.
That was a major upset. We lost.
We'll let that go. We gotta let it go.
Anyway, it's not fair to talk about Alabama. They pay players there. That's what the NCAA is ruling on right now, I might add.
Hey, did you actually have a question for Jerry when you were interrupted?
I kind of lost thought, but I'm back.
Can I tell Jerry something?
We're backing up just a little bit.
Okay, back up a little bit.
Okay, now, go ahead, ask your question.
My question was, you told me that you guys got together. My point is, basically, you guys have most of the same players. Why does it take a year for y'all to go from the doormats to now the toast of the town?
Doormat? I think doormat is a little strong, too, because, I mean, I think we won 32 games last year, but, I mean, when you look at the games that we lost a ton of games by a lot of, close games. I mean, I think crazy, 17 games by less than 4 points. And you take a 48-minute game, a lot of things can happen where that could go the other way. So we felt good about where we were, man. We made some good acquisitions in the offseason.
No, hey, let me just say this. I want to see if you're going to call Michael Jordan the doormat. We get him in there. Because they ain't going to win 32 games. Well, I think they'll win 32. It's going to be close.
How about Charles saying you guys are doing it with smoke and mirrors?
No, that's not true. Let me just, I got to get Rick.
What do you mean it's not true?
No, I'm just joking. Hey, let me tell you something. Mr. Stackhouse is surprised they're where they're at, I think. But let me say this. Rick Carlisle has done a great job. They are probably playing.
Answering your question.
He's telling me I'm surprised about it.
Answering it.
I mean, he is.
I'm telling you, I'm happy.
Yeah, okay, good.
I'm definitely
happy and surprised.
All right,
hey, but they're probably playing the best defense in the NBA today. Without a doubt. And I've watched them play 3 times, and Rick has got them. They got a defensive mentality led by Jerry and Michael Curry. And Cliff, they should have never traded him out of Phoenix. They're just playing terrific.
Hey, you know what? It's been a pleasure having you here. What a great way very nice of you to come out here on Thanksgiving night and leave Rex, Georgia for the little old Rex,
Georgia. Well, you know you have to be out of there by dark.
I had to say hello to my mom and dad, too. Happy Thanksgiving.
Hey, you have to be out of that part of Georgia before it get dark, don't you?
Hey, real dark.
Right up there by Brazelton.
Now, that sounds like Raps on the AT&T halftime report. Go Fieldhouse with his brother and Al.
Al, that's Al? Oh,
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And Reggie Miller, he's got to play on Thanksgiving Day, but Cheryl's got to work, and they were able to spend time together. And I think that's really nice. So 2 out of the 3 members of our crew able to do the family thing on Thanksgiving, which is nice. Which leaves, I guess, Azar.
He didn't realize that you could get a cheap ticket today.
Hey, Marv, have you been kind of acting like family to Mike today and palling around with him and stuff? I hope.
We've taken him in. Al and I try to.
Well, we did break bread together this afternoon. We had our Thanksgiving dinner together this afternoon at the hotel.
Well, we feel for you, Mike.
So you should. I paid for it again, Ernie.
That's totally unexpected. Guys, have a great second half, and happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving anyway.
Same to you guys.
Very dapper guy dressed behind you, too.
Kenny, good luck, Kenny. 0-2 for the Tar Heels, son. I'm feeling bad.
It's Davidson for Mike.
Davidson, Hampton also.
Yeah. Both at the Dean Dome.
Buy a ticket next time. Bring someone out there. It's cheaper on Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys. Good first half for the Washington Wizards. 50 points in the first half, which equals their best performance in a first half. And we're not talking Michael Jordan here in the first half. We're talking about Christian Laettner, who was outstanding with 11 points, 10 rebounds.
Yeah, shooting 4 for 9 from the floor. Laettner worked extremely hard. Jordan finally got himself going, shooting only 2 for 11. At the other end, Jalen Rose, very even distribution amongst the starters for Indiana. And then off the bench, Austin Crozier comes in, goes 4 for 4, scores 9 points in 10 minutes. But a big difference in bench scoring, 23-14 in favor of the Wizards.
Washington shooting only 39%, and Indiana at 46. But the Wizards did a nice job off the boards, particularly on the offensive glass. Let's check in with Cheryl Miller. Cheryl?
Marv, Coach Thomas said there are a couple things that he really wants his team to focus on in the second half. Number 1 is getting Reggie Miller more shots. And number 2 is rebounding. He feels Jermaine O'Neal needs a little more help on the boards. Guys?
All right, Cheryl, how about Jamaal Tinsley's taking 10 shots in that first half? Do you think he is? Michael Jordan beginning to heat up. You think he was affected by that career-high 29 in the Pacers' last game in the win over Atlanta?
Well, you mentioned earlier that he had a big game, and sometimes, youngsters can lose sight of exactly what their roles are. As Jalen Rose hits that corner jump shot, baseline jumper, and perhaps the scoring, 29 points, left an impression in his mind that, hey, this isn't bad scoring points here, getting all the ink and publicity, and as a result, he's taking shots instead of the guys that should be taking the majority of the shots.
But Jamaal did have 10 assists in that first half. Chris Whitney has been way off. 0 for 7 from the field.
You know, Mark, going back when his coach was playing, Isaiah Thomas, early on in his career, when you would pick up the box score and see that Isaiah was taking 20, 21, 22 shots a game, the Pistons were losing. When you see Isaiah taking 12 shots a game and handing out 11 assists, 12 assists, the Pistons would win games back then.
Well, even early on in Michael Jordan's career, he was finally convinced that he had to take less shots, and as a result, he was able to get his teammates more involved. Now, he came out in the first half not looking for the shot, and the Wizards did thrive in that first half. Now, Jordan draws the double team, and off the steal, here comes Tinsley. Foster. Nice tip.
You see the second effort there by the Wizards, getting back, breaking up what looked like to be a fast break score.
Well, Chris Whitney is able to hit on his first field goal, and the Wizards now lead by 6 more.
Yeah, and Whitney supplies outside offense for them. He can go behind the three-point line. He was 0 for 6 in the first half. That's his first basket.
I have a feeling Isaiah had some words for Tinsley. He would have taken that shot in the first half. Whitney able to run the floor, and the Wizards now lead 56-48.
You know, you think about it, on the starting unit for Washington, probably the two best shooters are Jordan and Whitney, and combined they were just 2 for 17 at halftime. And now we see quickly Whitney comes out and gets 2 big baskets.
Miller feeding Foster. Nicely done. Reggie Miller to the cutting Jeff Foster. Wizards now have a 56-50 lead. 10 points for Foster. He's high man for Indiana. Jordan. Michael now 3 for 12 from the floor. Wayne O'Neal. Beautiful move. Jermaine O'Neal last year had a breakthrough season. He had started only 18 games before coming to Indiana. Inserted into the starting lineup last year, averaged 13 points, 10 rebounds. And he appears to be a future all-star. That pass picked off. Tinsley has a 4-on-1. O'Neal finishes.
That's 2 turnovers now by Michael Jordan on 2 passes that he normally can make. You know, blindfolded. He nonchalanted that one, throwing out of the double team from the low post the first time. And he's saying to his teammates right there that, look, it's I understand. I mean, he knows that those are 2 turnovers that should not have happened.
6 unanswered by the Pacers. They are within 2 as the Wizards take a timeout. Go Fieldhouse in Indianapolis on Thanksgiving night. Wizards and the Pacers. And the Wizards have a 56-54 lead. 8:25 remaining in the third. Michael Jordan way off.
You can see Doug Collins draws a special play coming out of the timeout. They execute it just the way he drew it up. Got Michael Jordan the wide open shot. Then it's a matter of making shots.
O'Neal up front with Foster and Rose, Miller and Tinsley in the backcourt.
And they worked on that this morning. They said from the right side, O'Neal will try to drive the ball to his left hand to the middle of the floor. White that time played it extremely well.
Hamilton played by Miller. Forced into a very difficult shot by Reggie. Here's Tinsley. Nice feed, somehow able to get it to Foster. Little sleight of hand by the rookie from Iowa State, Jamaal Tinsley.
So we see now what's happened with Washington is turnovers and some poor shots and a wide open jumper that was just missed. And as a result, Indiana gets itself right back in now and ties this game up again.
12 assists, 8 rebounds for the point guard, Jamaal Tinsley. Shot clock down to 2. Down to 1. He does not realize it. Jahidi White holding the ball too long.
There's another turnover, basically. 3 out of the 5 possessions for Washington result in turnovers. And here's the fast break we're talking about. Tinsley with the court awareness, looking right, knowing he's got a big man running hard left, finds Foster with the feed and the layup.
What a pickup this young man was. Jamaal Tinsley, a first-round pick of the Grizzlies, traded to Atlanta, then dealt to the Pacers on draft night. There were a lot of question marks about Tinsley just prior to the draft. Did not look particularly sharp during those preseason camps. Nate O'Neill has given the Pacers a 2-point lead.
Isaiah just glows when he talks about Tinsley. He thinks that, you know, this young man is going to be something special for many, many years because he's very competitive. The biggest thing is he's very tough. He played the last game with injuries to his back and his wrist and his hip and would not come out of the game.
Jordan, yes, and it counts. Leitner picks up the assist. And Michael will go to the foul line. Rose collects his 4th personal. So that stops the 10-0 run. Well, you can log on to NBA.com or AOL keyword NBA All-Star and vote for your 2002 NBA All-Star starters. Michael Jordan with point number 11, but he's only 4 of 15 from the field. Pacers try to break down court in a hurry. Al Harrington is back on the floor. Harrington, Foster, and O'Neal now up front. Jalen Rose sitting down after picking up his 4th. Tinsley with the runner. So the Pacers recapture the lead up by 1 with 6 minutes remaining in the 3rd. Hamilton from straight away. Tinsley pushing it down, goes behind the back, penetrates, and has it knocked away.
You talk about dribble penetration, you can see how the lane just opens up, and then Tinsley with the ability to penetrate and shoot that little floater on the move winds up with an easy score.
It counts, and the foul. Good look for Miller to set it up. And Whitney called for the foul.
It's just a matter of the man who throws the inbounds pass, moving without the basketball. Tinsley passes and then cuts right to the basket when he sees his man jump towards Reggie Miller. The return pass, and now the opportunity to go to the free throw line to complete the play.
That's a nice looking stat line of those we mentioned right at the start of this second half. Probably took too many shots in that first half. He was 2 for 10 from the field as a follow-up to the career-high 29 the other night against Atlanta, but he has done it in other departments, and the Pacers have taken the lead 63-59. Jordan on the fadeaway. The shot has been off here tonight. Jahidi White stripped. He thought he was fouled, and you saw the toughness of Jamaal Tinsley going right at Jahidi White. Isaiah Thomas saying that Tinsley plays with such passion, such great heart. Hamilton off the inbounds. So Richard Hamilton drills it. He now has 11, and the Pacers lead by 2.
This is another one of those tests that the Wizard team will face during the year. Things are going well as Reggie launches a 3. Moving to his left this time, and he hits it.
Very patient game for Reggie Miller. Doesn't force the issue. That's only his 5th shot. He's 4 for 5 from the field.
Well, you know, Isaiah had been limiting his minutes during the first half, hoping that he would have the strength and stamina to have big second halves, and we'll see what happens out with Reggie during this second half.
Leitner. Christian Leitner shooting on the move. He now has 13 points. Pacers up by 3, just under 5 remaining in the 3rd. Indiana Pacers at 7 and 6. They started the year 6 and 2. Miller again. Then lost 4 in a row. Wayne O'Neal had the bad back, sat out 3 of those 4 games. While the Wizards 2 and 8 coming in, they have dropped their last 7. Richard Hamilton. And the Wizards are within 3.
You know, today during practice, Johnny Bach, the assistant coach, was talking to Hamilton about when he plays Reggie Miller to follow him. He said, follow him close. And he said, how close? He's like he owes you money. He said, follow, like he owes you a lot of money. He said, that's how close you should follow him.
Harrington, look out. Leitner deflected it Out of bounds, not able to hold on.
And they were talking about, playing Reggie Miller off these screens because he'll run you off so many. And Johnny Bach has been, along Doug Collins' side for so many years coaching on the bench. But he's got some great one-liners along the way.
O'Neal banking his way on Leitner. That's 15 points for Jermaine O'Neal. And Indiana up by 5. O'Neal is now 7 of 10 from the floor. Jordan using the pick. Jahidi White with the bucket and the foul.
Well, this is Jahidi White making himself felt down low. That big body, the second effort there to come up with it, and then he just simply explodes up between the two Indiana players and finishes it off with the two-handed dunk. And now the opportunity, just a 40% free throw shooter.
Yes, he is 5 for 13 at the line on the season. Tinsley pulls it back. Miller on a quick release. Good play by Foster. They get the new 24. Here's Tinsley from downtown. And a loose ball foul on Indiana.
Jermaine O'Neal, the offensive foul.
Foul is called on O'Neal. So the ball back to the Wizards. Christian Laettner now takes a seat. Popeye Jones is back. So Jones, White, and Jordan up front. Davis and Hamilton in the backcourt. And with this alignment, Hubert Davis handling the ball quite a bit. Hamilton.
Reggie has looked back more than just one time at Jahidi White with some shots that Jahidi has delivered.
It counts, and the foul. Once again, Jermaine O'Neal, and he'll go to the line.
They have given O'Neal the ball on the right baseline. He likes that side of the floor, and he has certainly produced a number of key baskets here down low.
And he wants to get everyone to basketball and get everyone involved.
Well, people here in Indianapolis are comparing Jamaal Tinsley to ex-Indiana Pacer Mark Jackson for his leadership skills and court vision. He is far more athletic than Mark Jackson. Mark had some big seasons, though, here as a member of the Pacers.
Different type of guards. Mark with a little more size, and Tinsley, as you mentioned, the athleticism, has a chance to be a pretty good defender also, to get after people and put pressure on the basketball. Mark didn't have the exact foot speed and quickness that this young man does, but as far as distributing the basketball, he certainly is quite impressive.
O'Neal gunning for his 18th point. While Tinsley has 16 assists. The season high is 17 by John Stockton. 2.5 remaining in the third. Davis lost the dribble. Miller for Tinsley gives it up. That's assist number 17 as he is able to find Al Harrington on the breakaway. So that equals a season high.
And you see Doug Collins dropping his head for a second, wiping the back of his neck as Michael goes to the rim, and will have an opportunity to finish the three-point play. That was the third breakaway layup for Indiana in this half as a result off of a turnover. And Doug Collins mentioned to us early today at the shoot-around that the one thing they find out, 3 out of 4 quarters, they compete. Each game, 3 out of 4 quarters. Only been one game, and that was the one at Detroit, where you really felt that they were blown out of the game. But 3 out of 4 quarters, they're right there with the opponent. There's always one quarter that they just seem to fall apart and lose their concentration.
For what it's worth, in 4 of their 8 losses, the Wizards have led or been tied in the fourth quarter. But when you lose those games, it's not worth much.
But there's a sense of at least you're competitive and you're there, but then you have to know how to finish them off. I'm not disagreeing with you. Okay, I don't like that face that I got up there.
You are what you are.
Oh, you are. Sure. Oh, wait, who did that come from? Another one of your former partners. Yes, that you drove out of the business.
He's back in the television business, though.
Picked up a new partner.
Yes. A minute 52 remaining in this third quarter. You sound bitter tonight, Czar. It's Thanksgiving. I mean, what's going on here? I think the guys in the studio were right on.
No. Very, very
bitter.
Very thankful.
Yes. Pacers up by 4. Both clubs have shot well here in this third quarter. Davis taking advantage of the double team on Jordan. He drills the 3.
Isaiah, as soon as that ball was in the air, Isaiah yelled out, Jamaal. Tinsley turned and looked at him, and he said, don't leave Davis. That's all he said, don't leave Davis.
Gilbert 3 of 4 from downtown. Reggie Miller with the touch. 13 points for Reggie, 6 of 9 from the field, and Indiana leads by 3. Jordan's pass batted away. Another turnover for the Wizards. Tinsley goes behind the back. It counts. And a foul. What a play by Jamaal Tinsley.
That pass was a little bit behind Hamilton in the lane. As a result, the turnover, and now we see the opportunity here for the pass or the fake pass. Go behind the back, complete the play yourself. You think he's coming right back again to Harrington with that pass? Instead, he keeps it, finishes, and goes to the line.
And is able to hit the free throw. That's an NBA season high of 18 assists, along with 12 points for Tinsley. Jordan. Michael is now 5 of 19 from the field. Here comes Hamilton off the steal. Hamilton is bottled up. Oh, terrific play by the Pacers, and racing back to stop Richard Hamilton.
It looked like a sure layup that time. You saw the great acceleration that time by Hamilton, but then the defensive play by Tinsley to break it up, force Washington to take it out. And if they get a shot up here, Washington will get the last 2 shots of this quarter.
Hamilton does get it up and hits. 79-75 Pacers. Our statistician Paul Evans points out on that behind-the-back maneuver by Tinsley, and then able to score that he should have picked up an assist to himself. That's the statistician point.
That's his feeling.
Stat guys think differently.
Isaiah did that many years ago. Remember, he threw it around his arm.
Tinsley again. The Wizards have no answer for the penetration skills of Jamaal Tinsley. 81-75, Indiana. Final seconds of the quarter. Jordan looking to get the shot off of a double team. The story, the rookie from Iowa State, Jamaal Tinsley. 14 points, 8 rebounds, 18 assists. That's an NBA season high. Here is another look at one of the sensational plays of the season. In the third, there is the president of the Indiana Pacers, Donnie Walsh.
He has done an amazing job here. Think about it. The franchise never fell off the end of the table, so to say. They never dropped down the way Chicago has, for example, the way Milwaukee did, the way Philly did for a number of years. We get the lob pass to Jermaine O'Neal to start off the fourth quarter. Donnie Walsh has turned this team over, kept a couple key guys, Reggie Miller, Jalen Rose, and then rebuilt it. You have 9 youngsters here. Their future is very, very bright. And we haven't even talked about those 2 7-footers they have that are kind of hanging around that are going to be good.
Yes, Bruno Sundo and Primoz Brejek, who was on the sideline with an injury, but he's been in the starting lineup a couple of times, taking over when Jermaine O'Neal was out because of that sore back. Sloppy play by the Wizards after the turnover-free start, and it's cost them. They now trail by 8, 83-75. Here's Hamilton, an off-balance, difficult shot. And Tinsley on the run. The lead for Miller. Back it goes. Touch pass to O'Neal. What a play once again by Tinsley. 20 assists for the rookie.
You thought he was going to shoot that one, didn't you? You thought he was going up for those 2 points himself, and then just a quick touch. He knew his big man was running the floor hard.
And as you saw, that equals an Indiana Pacer assist record. Don Boosie and Jalen Rose had 20 in a game. is an NBA season high, surpassing John Stockton, who had 17 in one game. 10-point lead for Indiana. O'Neal off the head fake. Rebounded by Jones.
Jermaine O'Neal came back from his summer excursion with the Goodwill team where they won a gold medal. Came back an extremely confident player, realizing what his true abilities are on the floor. As Laettner steps out, faces up, and hits the jump shot. And Isaiah was mentioning that this guy came back a different player as far as realizing that he can have an impact in other ways, not just scoring the basketball.
Jermaine was very impressive for the United States gold medal winning team at the Goodwill Games in Brisbane, Australia. Miller with a wild shot, just wanted to get it toward the rim and draws the foul. Kwame Brown. Austin Crozier checking back in. He'll replace Jermaine O'Neal. Here's the applause. Sits down with 21. Strong game for Jermaine, 10 of 15 from the field. And here is Reggie Miller, one of the great free throw shooters in NBA history. Well, you can watch the drama of NASCAR tomorrow at 12 Eastern on NBC as the Winston Cup season concludes with the New Hampshire 300 presented by Behind Enemy Lines. That's live from New Hampshire International Speedway. The Winston Cup season winding down. That'll be noon Eastern on NBC. And the Pacers now lead by 10. Tinsley putting pressure on Davis. Michael Jordan sitting it out. One of those nights for Michael, not able to get going. 5 for 20 from the field. 14 points. Jones blocked. And it's Indiana ball. Now Jalen Rose returns. Coming on for Reggie Miller. 15 for Miller. Michael Jordan getting set to make his return.
And I think Doug Collins probably feels that with them being 10 points down, 9 minutes remaining, that he's got to roll the dice, kind of hope that Michael gets going, hits one of those streaks where he knocks out 4 or 5 in a row and gets these guys back in the game.
Harrington posting up on Brown. Foster with the rebound. And the foul is called on the Wizards. It's on Laettner. Timeout taken. 8:51 remaining in the fourth quarter. It's Indiana with a 10-point lead. Miller to another. I think the Miller family has covered it all here.
They do a pretty good job, the Millers. Not bad.
10-point lead for Indiana. 3 minutes gone by in this fourth quarter.
They went bowling last night, the Millers.
Did they?
Yes, night before.
Jordan off the steal. Tinsley back. Jordan going at him. Jordan hits in the foul.
Well, there's the gamble we talked about by Doug Collins. Bringing Michael back, hoping that he can get it going. It starts out with defense. He gives a little juke right here like he's going to cross over right to left. Instead, comes back to the middle, controls the ball. Now the chance to finish the three-point play and cut this deficit to just 7 points.
So Michael now with 17, although he has shot just 6 of 21 from the field. Here's Jalen Rose over Michael Jordan. And a loose ball foul against Austin Crozier, who does not like the call. Second team foul on the Pacers.
Christian Laettner has thrown his body around tonight. He is in there. He is banging the glass. There's contact on almost every play underneath by Laettner. He's been on the floor for loose balls, and he really has helped keep the Wizard team in this game.
It is just past 10 p.m. here in Indianapolis, Indiana. Marv Albert with the czar, Mike Fratello, and Cheryl Miller. Off the steal, Rose around Davis. And the Pacers lead the Wizards 89-80.
Remember we talked before about turnovers leading to fast break points for Indiana? That time we saw Kwame Brown get up in the air, nowhere to go, just threw the ball out there. 2 more points for Indiana the easy way.
Thomas with the jump hook. Hit one earlier. And again, Indiana on the run. Crozier with room. Austin Crozier has had the hot hand. 11 points for Crozier. 5 for 5 from the field. And that leads to a Washington timeout.
The game is not over, okay? The game is not over. We just got to get some defensive stops. The game is not over. We got 7 minutes and 40 seconds. But guys, we've got to get back on defense. We have to.
Doug Collins telling us earlier at the shoot-around that we are so fragile. These guys have lost so much over the years, excluding Michael Jordan, that it's difficult to fight through it when they're in this type of situation.
Yeah, it's a certain way of handling this group because he's dealing with the losing mentality. He's dealing with youngsters just coming into the game, trying to teach, trying to learn. And then at the other end, he's got Michael, who has won all these championships and such a great competitor who wants to win each time he goes out on the floor. So it's a fine line that Doug walks the entire season.
Jordan. He had that lined up perfectly against Harrington, kept alive by Kwame Brown. Very sloppy play here in the second half by the Wizards. First 26 minutes, they committed just 1 turnover. Jalen Rose able to take advantage of yet another Washington turnover. The last 14 minutes, 9 turnovers by the Wizards.
And Indiana has capitalized on almost each and every one of those turnovers. It seems like they've gone down and scored an easy basket off.
That has to be so disheartening after we hear Doug Collins trying to get his club to turn things around. Hubert Davis with a 3. They hand the ball right back, leading to the fast break bucket by Indiana.
Now, after all this action has taken place, they're right back, the Wizards, to where they were when Doug reinserted Michael into the lineup, 10 points down. They've got to get some stops, got to get back involved offensively. Hopefully, Michael can get it going.
Foul committed by Hamilton. Wizards with their 3rd team foul. That's a non-shooting affair. 6.5 remaining in this 4th quarter. Rose. O'Neal on the rebound. O'Neal trying to go glass and rebounded by Hamilton.
O'Neal came up with that because Kwame Brown never turned, searched out his player, and put a body on him. He just let O'Neal go right to the offensive board.
Michael Jordan, will it count? No, it will not. Does not get the call on the continuation. Harrington on the foul, and Jordan will put it in play from side court. Once again, Jordan operating against Harrington, backing his way. Shot clock is down to 3. Here's Davis. Gets it off in time. Rebounded by Leitner, and they get another possession. Hamilton, yes! Richard Hamilton, and it's an 8-point game.
Leitner did a good job. O'Neal had inside position. Leitner boxed him in under the backboard. The ball bounced long. It gave the Wizards a second shot opportunity.
Jordan gambled, went for the steal, and Jermaine O'Neal now has 23.
Mind you, a couple years ago when he came from behind Karl Malone with that huge steal.
O'Neal is 11 of 17 from the field. Jordan off the head fake. Strong move by Michael Jordan. Now has 19, 95-87 Pacers. Foul is called on Kwame Brown as he was battling for position against Jermaine O'Neal. Well, you can log on to NBA.com or AOL keyword NBA All-Star and vote for your 2002 NBA All-Star starters. Several candidates on this court here tonight. Hamilton Hamilton looking for the steal. Nice play by Hamilton. Deflects it off Tinsley. So the ball back to Washington.
And this game is so interesting because if they get a basket right now, the Wizards, they're back within 6 points with 5 minutes to go. So as Doug Collins mentioned, this game is far from being over. 7 minutes and 40 seconds was a long time when they had that timeout. They just need a big basket right now.
Harrington's done a very nice job on Jordan. Forced him to give it up. And it's a 3-second violation.
That happened because the other players on the Wizards were anticipating that Michael was going to go up with a shot. They were working for offensive rebound position. Michael didn't have a good look. He was looking for an outlet for someone else to get a shot up.
Al Harrington, a young man who grew up in New Jersey with several posters of Michael Jordan in his bedroom. Here's Crozier for 3. Here's Harrington doing the strong job defensively on number 23. Kwame Brown working inside. Kept alive by Hamilton. Richard Hamilton cutting it to a 6-point Pacer lead.
And you can see there Kwame Brown looked like a young Colt. He got the offensive rebound, was about to go up from about 6 feet away, and wound up shooting a jump hook from 9 feet away.
19 points for Hamilton. O'Neal with the drop step. Rebound Jordan. Wizards very much alive. One bounce for Hamilton. Not able to hit. And with 4 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter, Indiana back to the offense, up by 6.
When you run the lane on the fast break that way, do you use glass or rim? And there's the beautiful drop-off pass with the easy score inside by O'Neal. Going back to Hamilton's shot, Marv, he couldn't decide on that fast break. Do I use rim or use glass? And he kind of shot it halfway in between both.
Leitner, yes. Christian Leitner with 17 points. 7 of 12 from the field. 97-91. Back to a 6-point game. Here's Rose. And the Pacers now lead 99-91.
Hubert Davis got caught. He wanted to run over the top of the screen. O'Neal moved the screen up higher. Just as Davis was trying to go over, Rose faded to the corner, wide open. No recovery on that one.
Hamilton lost his footing. It's been a story we've seen throughout this early season. And Monroe's not able to hit, but Harrington is right there. From the Washington point of view, they are not able to get stops down the stretch. They have rallied back, but Indiana hitting nearly every shot that they have taken in these final minutes. And a timeout has been called. 2:41 remaining in the fourth. Pacers up by 8. Indiana Pacer media guide come up with the fact that the rookie Jamaal Tinsley with 23 assists now has set an all-time Indiana Pacer assist record. Don Boosie had it for the ABA days at 20. Jalen Rose once had a 20-assist record, and Tinsley is 1 rebound away from his first ever triple-double in the NBA.
Because of his ability to find his open teammates at the right moment, the team is shooting over 51% from the floor, so you've got to be happy with the fact that this young man is willing to give it up, even though he knows he has the ability to score points when they need him.
15 points, 9 rebounds, 23 assists. Grew up in Brooklyn, did not play high school basketball. Finished up at Iowa State, led the Cyclones to 2 Big 12 titles in his 2 years there. I tell you, Harrington has done a tremendous job against his boyhood idol, Michael Jordan. Gets the jump ball, ties him up. Like you watch Harrington, he cannot look Jordan in the face. Just doesn't even want to look at him.
Well, he's afraid that Michael may try and slip a little mind game in on him.
2.5 remaining. In this fourth quarter, Pacers have a 10-point lead.
Who else on the floor is from Brooklyn, New York?
Michael Jordan was born in Brooklyn.
You mentioned Tinsley. I just thought I'd give you a player from the opposing team.
Jalen Rose tried to save it. Stepped out. Good hustle by Jalen. Michael spent only just a couple of years in Brooklyn and then moved to North Carolina.
Very good job.
Shot clock is at 5. Davis from way downtown. Hubert Davis with his 5th three-pointer.
Well, we talked about that this is a valuable weapon returning to the Wizards. Davis had a big game last game out for them. Again, providing that perimeter shot. Big basket here. They still have time to pull this thing out.
Foul called. Washington is over the foul limit. You're talking about the defensive job done by Al Harrington against Michael Jordan. Al saying, I'm looking forward to playing against him. I'm looking forward to dominating him defensively. I wonder if Michael was aware of that quote.
I think Isaiah's asking him right now, did you really say that?
But he has done a very nice job. Michael 7 of 23 for 19 points. Did not look for the shot early and then could not find the range. Two minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. So the Pacers up 103-94.
Think about Indiana's team, you think about Reggie Miller, you think about Jalen Rose, but tonight we're seeing these youngsters takes it to the basket.
Little answer from Jordan, showing a burst going to his left and then stuffing. That was vintage Michael. 103-96 with a minute 40 remaining in the fourth. Jordan looking for the steal on Harrington at the other end, and Al Harrington very coolly hits on the fadeaway. 105-96 Indiana. Good defensive sequence here by the Pacers. And let's see what the call is here.
Well, we see Michael Jordan playing defense. Harrington a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger, backs into Jordan, and it creates some space for the jumper. And then at the other end, we see Michael going by Harrington. Harrington hoping someone was there, no one there.
Foul was called on Al Harrington. Timeout taken, a minute 17 remaining in the fourth. 5 minutes, he has scored 21 points. The Wizards will be looking for the three-point shot. Hubert Davis on fire from downtown. He's 5 for 7.
Davis is their best three-point shooter, and then Whitney is their second best three-point shooter. Hamilton and then Jordan in that order.
Hubert hit 4 threes the other night in the loss to Charlotte. Wizards need some quick shots here. Here's Jordan. Leitner on the rebound. Davis for 3. Yes! 6 of 8 from downtown for Hubert Davis, and a 6-point lead as the foul is given by the Wizards. They are over the limit.
And Doug Collins decided in the timeout that if we score, we're going to foul right away, put him on the free throw line, make him make free throws. We can't afford to have him use up 20 seconds off the shot clock.
So Jamaal Tinsley to the line. He is 4 for 4 from the line. And you see that extraordinary stat line for Tinsley. 81% foul shooter for the season. Now Reggie Miller checks back in.
You know, Marv, I mentioned Doug's philosophy there to foul immediately. I'm not quite sure I can say that that's what Doug wanted. That's what happened at that moment. Doug may have said, you know, we've got a minute and 5 seconds remaining. We're down only 6 points going into it. Let's play some defense and try and get a stop. But when it happens that way, what are you going to do?
Here's Jordan. Although when you hit 1 out of 2, it actually works for the Wizards, particularly had Jordan hit that shot. And now the foul on Leitner. With 50 seconds remaining. So the Pacers back to the line. Looking ahead for Washington Saturday night, back home for Boston, and 2 straight on the road at Cleveland and Philly. They'll play 7 of the next 9 on the road. Indiana's home tomorrow night for the San Antonio Spurs, followed by a 5-game road trip to the West. They head to Seattle, Portland, Denver, Utah, then the Clippers. They're hoping that Travis Best will be able to get back into action on that Western trip. He's out with a sprained hamstring. 107-99 the score, and Washington takes a 20-second timeout.
And, you know, Indiana has played good teams that are good basketball teams or have been playing well. So the fact that they have this record right now, Isaiah Thomas very happy.
48 7/10 seconds remaining in the fourth. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. His first ever NBA career double. Yeah, the Wizards looking for a quick shot. Hubert Davis goes to the runner. What a night for Hubert Davis with 6 3-pointers. His career high is 7. And again, the foul is given. It's on Davis. Hubert with 21 points. Nice follow-up to the other night. He had 18. This is only his 3rd game back since coming off the injured list with that torn right hamstring. Al Harrington at the line with 38 seconds remaining in the fourth. A reminder, coming up next, it's Inside the NBA, presented by Hyundai with Hunter Johnson, Kenny Smith, Charles Barkley, including a report from Jim Huber on this Thanksgiving, and the NBA house party presented by McDonald's. 7-point Pacer lead as we come up on 30 seconds remaining. Here's Davis looking for 7. And a foul on the Wizards. That would have brought the Wizards within 4. Hubert Davis had hit 6 3-pointers.
You can't ask for a much better shot. He's wide open. The guy had hit, 6 already, and you get him a wide open look like that.
Standing ovation for Jamaal Tinsley. Pretty nice follow-up to the career-high 29-point game Tuesday night against Atlanta. He's had now 4 straight exceptional performances. Davis not able to hit again from downtown. Leitner's there for the follow. 110-103. Down to 15 seconds. So the Pacers able to avoid the foul as time has run out on the Washington Wizards. The Pacers hearing it from this capacity crowd. So Michael Jordan with a disappointing shooting night, 8 for 26, 21 points. Christian Leitner, though, with a big game, 19 points, 15 rebounds, 19 for Richard Hamilton, 21 for Hubert Davis. While the Indiana Pacers, led by Jermaine O'Neal, 20 of his 27 coming in the second half. And that young man, Jamaal Tinsley, with a triple-double, 19 points, 11 rebounds, and, yes, 23 assists. Let's go to Cheryl with Jamaal.
Jamaal, Reggie said all along that what he loved about your game the most is that you could either be comfortable dishing out 15 dimes or scoring 2 points, or only scoring 15 points and dishing out 15 dimes. But you got to be very pleased with your performance tonight.
Yeah, I'm very happy. I think I came out here and played hard tonight. Early in the half, I was missing shots, but I was passing the ball. Guys were hitting shots.
And I just got to thank my teammates for making them shots for me.
One thing that Isaiah said that he really loved about you also is that he wasn't going to pull the reins in. He's just going to allow you to make rookie mistakes. But tonight, you were running on all cylinders.
That's one thing I like about him. He played the same position, so he know how it is going out there playing, being a rookie. And I'm just trying to get things done on the court.
The last 4 games, this team has really struggled as far as coming out with a lot of energy and really digging themselves a hole. That wasn't the case tonight.
Now, we had to come out and just play hard for 48 minutes and not get ourselves in the hole.
Congratulations. What are you going to do for Thanksgiving? You're going to get that feast on?